I did the start, a proper start from 0 to 100. It's pretty quick now with the four-wheel drive. It's very enjoyable to drive now with the 350 kilowatt in qualifying.
Well, Robin, welcome back for season 11 of the Formula E World Championship, a new era, and we weren't expecting to be here in Madrid. Obviously, we know what happened with Valencia, and we send our best regards to them.
Yeah.
But as a driver, when you change over and have to come into a different track, when you've done all your sim prep for Valencia, how quick can you get used to this new track? Because I'm imagining maybe you're not too familiar with it.
No, well, yeah, first of all, it's just very sad and unfortunate what happened in Valencia. It's been, I only heard stories and saw videos how bad it actually is, so yeah. It's quite horrendous. But yeah, now we're here. We had the prep for Valencia done. A track here which I never really been to, never really know it was existing at the first place. But Formula 1 was here in the 80s, I heard. Mm-hmm. But we did the track walk yesterday, and it looks very, very nice to drive, very floaty, goes up and down. So I think it's going to be a nice, a nice way to start the season.
We've seen you, obviously, for quite a few seasons now. You've been back at Envision for one season after that season away. When you come into preparing for a new season, do you have a ritual now? I know that for you, it's not really a new season because you're always racing. But when you come into a new Formula E season, is there a bit of a ritual that gets you back into the swing of things?
Not particularly, no. As you say, I'm quite busy, so I was in Bahrain last week, finishing my season now, starting a new one. It's just basically turning a page and start again. We didn't really had the best season last year. We had good pace. We were strong-ish in qualifying, but we really did not really put the results together which we wanted to. So we knew we had a good car, and hopefully it's going to be the same. We had some good results in Portland, especially with double podium. So we've been focusing on especially the races. Now, yeah, things have been changing again for next year with different rules, etc. So we need to be on top of our game from the first race onwards.
What is the situation with you doing different championships? Obviously, we saw a whole new driver lineup in one of the races, one of the race weekends last season for Envision, and there were sort of rumours, question marks that maybe you wouldn't return, but you are back here.
Yeah.
How is that going to work this year? Are you still planning on doing more WEC next year?
Next year I'm going to continue as planned. So I'm going to do WEC. I'm going to do a few IMSA races as well, because I had a few weekends off, apparently. So I'm going to be busy. So yeah, nothing has changed. I do Formula E, I do WEC, and then yeah, we'll see how it goes.
We're speaking before you've had too much time in this new Gen3 Evo car. I've spoken to some of the drivers, and they're pretty impressed with how quick it is off the line with four wheels giving that power. Yeah. What's your first impression?
Yeah, I didn't drove the car much. So yeah, I did the start, a proper start from 0 to 100. It's pretty quick now with the four-wheel drive.
Yeah,
it's very enjoyable to drive now with the 350 kilowatt in qualifying. So again, it's new rules, and I think it's going to be quite exciting. It's going to be, you need to adapt yourself as a driver, because the car behaves quite differently with the four-wheel drive and the rear-wheel drive. But that's at the end of the day for everybody the same. So again, we need to be on top of things a bit more than last year, because there are more changeable things during the weekend. But yeah, we are here to test these things and tick our boxes and hopefully start off well.
How do you think the new car, especially with the new front wing, will change the style of racing? Because the front wing was a bit of an issue last year. It was maybe a little bit fragile.
Yeah, I don't know how strong the front wing is. I'm not really planning to test it either in the test.
No.
Will not be a good start. But Sao Paulo, obviously, we had a few front wing damages in the races. Sao Paulo is always one of those races where everybody's very close together. So yeah, let's hope it's better than last year. We have less of those front wing issues for sure. But I think the Formula E are working quite hard to get that done. So I'm quite confident that will not be a big problem anymore.
We have a slightly different calendar next year when it comes to season 11, but next year in 2025 we have a big gap again, which we had this season. A lot of drivers aren't so keen on that, but as a driver that's quite busy elsewhere, is that maybe not the worst thing in the world for you?
Well, BMW knew I had a gap coming along, so they booked me for Sebring.
Okay, fine.
So,
right.
So I don't really have a huge gap in between. Obviously, it's nice to race more, and I'm really enjoying to almost drive every weekend. It's a bit unfortunate that we don't go to Thailand after all, but yeah, it's how it is. I can't control it. But now I only have 3 weeks off instead of 6.
Okay, so yeah, it's going to be another busy season.
Yep.
And look, we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully we see you back on the podium.
Yep.
And
Thank
we'll
you.
catch up with you, I'm sure, when we come around to Brazil.
Yes, for sure. Thank you.